Have you ever felt frustrated, embarrassed, or even defeated when intimacy doesn't go as planned? Many men believe that erectile dysfunction is just an inevitable part of getting older, that once you hit 60, your best days are behind you, and there's nothing you can do about declining sexual health. But what if I told you that this isn't the whole truth? I'm Dr. Susan Blake, a men's health specialist with over 20 years of experience helping mature men reclaim their vitality, confidence, and intimate relationships, even well into their 60s, 70s, and beyond. Throughout my journey working with thousands of men, I've discovered that there are surprisingly simple, natural, and accessible approaches to maintaining and even improving erectile function that are often more powerful than we imagine. Without the side effects of medications, the embarrassment of complicated devices, or the expense of invasive treatments, imagine being able to wake up feeling confident in your masculinity, experiencing stronger, more reliable erections, and feeling that spark of desire that makes you feel truly alive. And yes, this is absolutely possible even after 60, even if you've already tried other approaches without success, and even if you think your best days are behind you. I end this video, I'm going to reveal 3 critical morning habits that are sabotaging your erectile health, plus 8 powerful, natural strategies that can help you restore your sexual confidence and performance. Stay with me until the end, because the final tip is especially transformative and something you can start implementing this very morning. Before we dive into this life-changing information, if you're looking for more evidence-based strategies to maintain your health, vitality, and masculine confidence after 60, click that subscribe button and hit the notification bell. This way, you won't miss any of the valuable content we create specifically for men who refuse to let age define their limits. And I'd love to hear from you. Have you noticed changes in your erectile function that concern you? Comment yes below if this resonates with your experience, or no if you feel you've maintained your sexual health successfully. Your participation helps me understand how to better serve this amazing community of men. And now, let's get into the meat of today's discussion. What I'm about to share might surprise you, but the truth is that many of the habits we think are healthy or harmless are actually working against our sexual health every single morning. The first habit that's killing your erection is something that 90% of men over 60 do without even thinking about it. It's starting your day with high-stress cortisol spikes. Now, you might be wondering what I mean by this. I'm talking about immediately checking your phone, reading the news, or diving into stressful emails the moment you wake up. Here's what's happening in your body when you do this. The moment you expose yourself to stressful information, your cortisol levels skyrocket. Cortisol is your body's stress hormone, and while it has important functions, chronically elevated cortisol is absolutely devastating to your testosterone production and blood flow, 2 critical components for healthy erections. When cortisol is high, your body thinks it's in survival mode. It shuts down what it considers non-essential functions, and unfortunately, sexual function is one of the first things to go. Your body is essentially saying, we're under attack, this is not the time for reproduction. This stress response constricts blood vessels, reduces nitric oxide production, and interferes with the delicate hormonal balance needed for strong erections. Research from the Journal of Sexual Medicine shows that men with chronically elevated cortisol levels have significantly lower testosterone and are 3 times more likely to experience erectile dysfunction. The tragic part is that many men are unknowingly triggering this response every single morning within minutes of waking up. Instead of reaching for your phone, try this: spend the first 30 minutes of your day in a stress-free zone. This might mean meditation, gentle stretching, listening to calming music, or simply enjoying your morning coffee in silence. Your body needs time to naturally regulate its hormones, and this peaceful morning routine can set the stage for better sexual health throughout the day. The second habit that's destroying your erectile function is consuming inflammatory foods and drinks first thing in the morning. I'm talking about that sugary coffee drink, the processed breakfast pastry, or even that seemingly innocent glass of orange juice. These foods create a cascade of inflammation in your body that directly impacts your vascular health. Your erectile function depends entirely on healthy blood flow. When you consume high-sugar, processed foods in the morning, you're creating what researchers call glycemic spikes that damage the delicate lining of your blood vessels called the endothelium. This damage accumulates over time and makes it increasingly difficult for blood to flow freely to where you need it most, but the damage doesn't stop there. These inflammatory foods also increase something called advanced glycation end products, or AGEs, which literally age your blood vessels from the inside out. Think of it like rust forming in your pipes. Over time, the flow becomes restricted, and eventually, it can become blocked entirely. A study published in the International Journal of Impotence Research found that men who consumed high glycemic breakfast foods had significantly lower erectile function scores compared to those who started their day with low glycemic, anti-inflammatory options. Here's what you should do instead: start your morning with foods that actually support vascular Health. Think eggs with avocado, which provide healthy fats and protein that support hormone production. Add some berries, which are packed with antioxidants that protect your blood vessels. Consider green tea instead of coffee, as it contains L-theanine, which promotes relaxation and healthy blood flow. The third morning habit that's killing your erection is something that might shock you because it's often recommended by well-meaning health professionals. It's intense morning workouts or high-stress exercise routines. Now, don't get me wrong, exercise is crucial for sexual health. But the timing and intensity matter enormously. When you engage in high-intensity exercise first thing in the morning, especially if you're already stressed or haven't slept well, you're adding another massive cortisol spike to your system. Remember, cortisol is the enemy of testosterone and healthy erections. Your body can only handle so much stress, and if you're piling workout stress on top of life stress, your sexual function will suffer. Additionally, intense morning workouts can lead to what's called exercise-induced hypogonadism, a fancy term for your body shutting down testosterone production because it's overwhelmed by physical stress. This is particularly common in men over 60 who are already dealing with naturally declining hormone levels. Research from the European Journal of Applied Physiology shows that men who perform high-intensity exercise in the morning have lower testosterone levels throughout the day compared to those who exercise in the afternoon or evening. Instead, consider gentle movement in the morning. This could be a leisurely walk, some light yoga, or basic stretching. Save your more intense workouts for later in the day when your body is better prepared to handle the stress. Your hormones will thank you, and your sexual function will improve. As a result, now that we've covered the 3 habits that are sabotaging your erectile health, let me share with you 8 powerful, natural strategies that can help restore and enhance your sexual function, regardless of your age. The first strategy is optimizing your morning hydration, but not just with plain water. Upon waking, your body is naturally dehydrated from 7 to 8 hours without fluid intake. This dehydration directly impacts blood volume and circulation, 2 critical factors for erectile function. But here's the key: add a pinch of high-quality sea salt and a squeeze of lemon to your water. The sea salt provides essential electrolytes that help your body actually absorb and utilize the water rather than just passing it through. The lemon provides vitamin C, which supports nitric oxide production, the molecule responsible for dilating blood vessels and allowing increased blood flow. This simple morning ritual can improve your circulation within 30 minutes and set the foundation for better erectile function throughout the day. The second strategy involves morning sunlight exposure, which might be the most underrated sexual health practice on the planet. Getting 15 to 20 minutes of natural sunlight in your eyes and on your skin within the first hour of waking does something remarkable for your hormones. Sunlight exposure triggers your circadian rhythm, which directly regulates testosterone production. Research from Boston University Medical Center found that men with adequate vitamin D levels had significantly higher testosterone and better erectile function than those who were deficient. But it's not just about vitamin D. The actual light exposure helps regulate your body's natural hormone cycles. Try to get this sunlight exposure without sunglasses when possible, as the light entering your eyes sends signals to your brain to optimize hormone production. The third strategy is implementing strategic breathing exercises, specifically what's called box breathing or coherent breathing. This involves breathing in for 4 counts, holding for 4 counts, exhaling for 4 counts, and holding empty for 4 counts. Do this for just 5 to 10 minutes each morning. This type of breathing activates your parasympathetic nervous system, your rest and digest mode, which is essential for sexual function. When you're in this relaxed state, your body can focus on non-essential functions like reproduction. It also increases nitric oxide production and improves blood flow throughout your body, including to your sexual organs. The fourth strategy focuses on morning nutrition timing and specifically includes foods rich in L-arginine and L-citrulline. These amino acids are precursors to nitric oxide, the molecule that makes erections possible. Foods high in these compounds include watermelon, pomegranate, dark leafy greens, nuts, and seeds. Consider making a morning smoothie with watermelon, spinach, and pumpkin seeds. Or try a breakfast that includes pomegranate juice with your eggs and avocado. These foods don't just support sexual health, they improve overall cardiovascular function, which benefits your entire body. The fifth strategy involves cold exposure therapy, which might sound intimidating but can be as simple as ending your morning shower with 30 to 60 seconds of cold water. Cold exposure does several things for sexual health. It increases testosterone production, improves circulation, reduces inflammation, and builds mental resilience. A study from the Thrombosis Research Institute found that people who took cold showers had increased levels of glutathione, a powerful antioxidant, and improved immune function. The shock of cold water also triggers the release of norepinephrine, which improves focus, mood, and circulation. Start with just 15 to 20 seconds and gradually increase the duration as your body adapts. The sixth strategy is morning meditation or mindfulness practice, specifically focused on body awareness and gratitude. Sexual function is as much mental as it is physical, and anxiety about performance often creates a vicious cycle that makes the problem worse. Spend 10 to 15 minutes each morning practicing mindful awareness of your body without judgment. Notice areas of tension and consciously relax them. Practice gratitude for what your body can do rather than focusing on what it can't. This mental practice can be transformative for sexual confidence and function. Research from the Journal of Sex and Marital Therapy shows that mindfulness-based interventions significantly improve erectile function, sexual satisfaction, and overall quality of life in men with sexual dysfunction. The seventh strategy involves optimizing your sleep environment and morning wake-up routine to support natural hormone production. Your body produces most of its testosterone during deep sleep, particularly during REM cycles. If your sleep is disrupted or poor quality, your hormone production suffers dramatically. Ensure your bedroom is completely dark, cool, around 65 to 68 degrees, and quiet. Consider using blackout curtains and removing all electronic devices. Most importantly, try to wake up naturally without an alarm when possible, or use a sunrise alarm clock that gradually increases light to wake you gently. Jarring alarm clocks spike cortisol and can disrupt your natural hormone cycles. The eighth and final strategy is implementing a morning gratitude and visualization practice specifically focused on your relationship and intimacy goals. This isn't just feel-good psychology, there's real science behind this approach. Visualization activates the same neural pathways as actual experiences, essentially training your brain and body for success. Spend 5 minutes each morning visualizing yourself feeling confident, virile, and satisfied in your intimate relationships. Feel the emotions associated with these experiences. Gratitude practice, particularly focused on your body and your partner, reduces stress hormones and increases positive emotions, which directly benefit sexual function. Men who practice gratitude report higher life satisfaction, better relationships, and improved sexual health. Now, let me address something important. You might be thinking, this all sounds great, but I've tried things before and nothing worked. I understand that frustration, and I want you to know that failure in the past doesn't predict future results. Often, previous attempts failed because they focused on isolated solutions rather than addressing the complete picture of sexual health. The strategies I've shared work synergistically, they support each other and create a foundation for lasting improvement. You're not just treating symptoms, you're addressing root causes and creating an environment where your body can function optimally. You might also be concerned about your age, thinking it's too late to see real improvements. This is simply not true. While it's true that testosterone naturally declines with age, and blood vessels may become less flexible over time, the human body has a remarkable capacity for healing and adaptation at any age. I've worked with men in their 70s and 80s who have experienced significant improvements in their sexual function by implementing these natural strategies. Your body wants to function optimally, you just need to give it the right environment and support. Another common concern is about the time and effort required. You might be thinking, I don't have time for all of this. The beauty of these strategies is that they integrate seamlessly into routines you already have. You're already waking up, drinking something, getting some form of light exposure, and breathing. We're simply optimizing these existing habits for better sexual health. Let me also address the elephant in the room: pride and embarrassment. Many men feel ashamed about sexual dysfunction and try to handle it alone. This isolation often makes the problem worse. Remember that sexual health challenges are incredibly common, you're not alone, and there's no shame in taking proactive steps to improve your situation. The strategies I've shared are about taking control of your health and vitality in a natural, sustainable way. This isn't about quick fixes or miracle cures, it's about creating a lifestyle that supports optimal sexual function for years to come. I want to share a story about one of my clients, Robert, a 67-year-old retired engineer. When Robert first came to me, he was frustrated and defeated. He'd been experiencing erectile dysfunction for about 3 years and felt like his marriage was suffering. He'd tried medications but didn't like the side effects, and he was convinced that his age meant he had to accept decline. Robert was skeptical about natural approaches, but he was willing to try. We started with just 3 changes. He stopped checking his phone for the first hour after waking, he replaced his sugary breakfast with eggs and avocado, and he began taking a 20-minute walk in the morning sunlight. Within 6 weeks, Robert noticed improvements. His energy was better, he felt more confident, and yes, his erectile function began to improve. Over the next 6 months, as he gradually implemented more of these strategies, his transformation was remarkable. Not only did his sexual health improve dramatically, but his overall vitality, mood, and relationship satisfaction reached levels he hadn't experienced in years. Robert's story isn't unique. I've seen similar transformations in hundreds of men who are willing to address their sexual health holistically rather than looking for quick fixes. Now, let's talk about implementation. The key to success with these strategies is consistency over perfection. You don't need to implement everything at once. In fact, trying to change too much too quickly often leads to overwhelm and abandonment of the entire program. Start by choosing the 1 or 2 strategies that resonated most strongly with you today. Maybe it's eliminating that stressful morning phone check and replacing it with 5 minutes of peaceful breathing. Or perhaps it's swapping your sugary breakfast for something that supports vascular health. Implement these changes consistently for 2 weeks before adding anything else. This allows your body and mind to adapt and integrate the new habits. Once these become automatic, add 1 or 2 more strategies. Remember, sexual health is a marathon, not a sprint. The goal is to create sustainable changes that you can maintain long-term, not to achieve overnight transformation that disappears just as quickly. Pay attention to subtle improvements rather than expecting dramatic overnight changes. You might notice better energy in the afternoon, improved mood, better sleep quality, or increased morning erections before you see improvements in sexual performance. These are all positive signs that your body is responding to the changes. Keep a simple journal tracking your energy levels, mood, and sexual function. This doesn't need to be detailed, just a simple 1 to 10 scale rating each day. Over time, you'll be able to see patterns and improvements that might not be obvious day to day. It's also important to communicate with your partner throughout this process. Sexual health affects both of you, and having their support and understanding can make a significant difference in your success. Share what you're learning and invite them to participate in creating a healthier lifestyle together. If you have underlying health conditions like diabetes, heart disease, or high blood pressure, these strategies can complement your medical treatment, but always work with your healthcare provider. Sexual dysfunction can sometimes be an early warning sign of cardiovascular issues, so it's important to address both the symptoms and any underlying health concerns. Let me address one more important point: patience with the process. In our fast-paced, instant gratification world, we often expect immediate results. Natural healing and optimization take time. Your body has likely been dealing with stress, inflammation, and suboptimal habits for years. And it takes time to reverse these patterns. Some men notice improvements within a few weeks, while others may take several months to see significant changes. This variability is normal and doesn't mean the strategies aren't working. Trust the process and focus on how you feel overall, not just sexual function. As we wrap up today's discussion, I want to emphasize that sexual health is an integral part of overall health and vitality. The strategies we've discussed don't just improve erectile function, they enhance energy, mood, cardiovascular health, hormone balance, and overall quality of life. Taking care of your sexual health is taking care of yourself holistically. It's an investment in your relationship, your confidence, and your overall well-being. You deserve to feel vital, confident, and satisfied at any age. Remember, the 3 morning habits that are killing your erection are: starting your day with stress and cortisol spikes, consuming inflammatory foods and drinks, and engaging in overly intense morning exercise. Avoiding these habits alone can make a significant difference in your sexual health. The 8 strategies we covered: optimized hydration, morning sunlight exposure, strategic breathing, nitric oxide supporting nutrition, cold exposure, mindfulness practice, sleep optimization, and gratitude visualization, work together to create an environment where your body can function optimally. Before I close, I want to remind you that these solutions are fundamentally simple, accessible, and based on supporting your body's natural functions rather than fighting against them. You don't need expensive treatments, risky medications, or complicated protocols. You just need to work with your body's natural healing and optimization processes. My advice is to start small and be consistent. Choose 1 or 2 strategies that resonated most strongly with you today. For example, you could begin tomorrow morning by avoiding your phone for the first 30 minutes and having that lemon water with sea salt instead of your usual sugary coffee drink. Consistency trumps perfection every time. You may not see a complete transformation overnight, but with time and consistency, small changes lead to significant results. Pay attention to the subtle improvements: a bit more energy, clearer thinking, better mood, or increased confidence. These are all signs that your body is responding positively to the changes you're making. Remember, you have more control over your sexual health than you might think. Age doesn't have to mean decline, and past failures don't predict future results. Your body has an incredible capacity for healing and optimization when given the right support and environment. If this video has been helpful, please give it a Thumbs up and share it with any man in your life who might benefit from this information. Sexual health challenges are common, but they don't have to be permanent. Make sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell so you don't miss our upcoming videos where we'll dive deeper into natural health optimization for mature men. I have some exciting content planned, including specific meal plans for sexual health, advanced breathing techniques, and natural testosterone optimization strategies. Drop a comment below and let me know which strategy you're going to implement. First, I read every comment and love hearing about your successes and challenges. Your engagement helps me create content that truly serves this community. Until next time, remember that your best days don't have to be behind you. With the right knowledge, strategies, and consistency, you can maintain and even improve your sexual health and overall vitality for years to come. Take care of yourself, you're worth the investment.